Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is cooling off from overbought territories here in the short term as more liquidity is starting to build to the upside, while the price is still remaining within the short-term bullish trend during the larger bearish trend, while Ethereum is continuing to play out this bullish divergence and is now starting to cool off from overbought territories on this time frame. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, taking a look at the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and right now the super trend indicator is still sitting in the red, indicating a larger bearish trend. And if we're looking at the 2-day time frame, we can see the same thing. Technically speaking, we're still within the larger bearish trend, forming lower highs and lower lows, at least as of right now. And this descending line of support is currently sitting at around 52,500, and this descending line of resistance is currently sitting at just underneath 68,000. But of course, during the larger bearish trend, we can see shorter term bullish trends, as we can see here. And that's basically what we're seeing right now in the short term. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, once again, over the weekends, the DXY is closed for trading. So we don't really have any new updates over the last 1 day on this chart. But in case you're new to the channel, over the last few days, basically on Friday, we saw a bit of a drop to the downside in the DXY, which was a bullish signal, at least in the short term, for the price of Bitcoin. And if we're looking at this daily Bitcoin chart, once again, the price is technically within a shorter term bullish trend, like what we've seen here or here or here, for example. But as of right now, we are running into some major resistance, which is sitting in between around 60.2k to 61.2k, so around 60 to 61,000. And so far, over the last 1 to 2 days, the price has been starting to struggle around this exact area as expected. Because of course, when the price of Bitcoin runs into major areas of resistance, those are the areas where the price is most likely going to struggle at. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now, just a struggle in the short term around major resistance. And you can think of resistance as basically where a lot of people are interested in selling Bitcoin, and support where a lot of people are interested in buying Bitcoin. So once again, right now we have resistance at around 60 to 61,000. And if we see a confirmed breakout with a daily candle close, for example, back above around 61,000, then in that case, the next short-term resistance could be sitting at around 63,000 based on the volume profile indicator. But above 63k, we do have some major resistance right here, closer towards around 64,500. And as for support, in case we see a further rejection from this resistance at 60 to 61,000, in that case, we could find some short-term support at around 59,500 based on the volume profile indicator. And we also have this significant area of support right here, sitting at around 56 to 57,000. And while the price of Bitcoin is running into this major area of resistance right here, struggling just in the short term, of course, we're also basically cooling off from overbought territories here in the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI. As I explained in my last video, we're due to see a bit of a cool off in the short term, potentially over the next 1 or 2 days. And so far, this is playing out exactly as expected. Because when we see a cool off here in the price action in the form of either sideways price action or a slight pullback, basically not as much bullish momentum, that's why we're cooling off here. When we're seeing that happen, that helps to reset the RSI back down towards more neutral levels, which can actually give us more room to the upside later on. And so this is very healthy to see during a bullish trend. We can still clearly see here in the shorter term, the price is trending in the bullish direction. And this is not necessarily a trend reversal signal, but it is a signal telling us that we're due to see a bit of a cool off or a break during this bullish trend as of right now. And this shorter term cool off is likely going to continue at least for the remainder of the weekend, because usually on weekends anyway, we see relatively boring price action most of the time. So low volatility over the weekends. That's most likely going to happen for the rest of this weekend. And then perhaps on Monday or Tuesday, we could start seeing some more volatility. And so if you want to get ready to potentially trade any of these volatile moves that could be coming in the next few days, personally, I take just about all of my trades over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a massive lucky draw happening right now over over on Bybit where you could potentially win up to $100,000 just by trading crypto using the link down below this video. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is Bitfinex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitfinex, which means if you're in the US or the UK, for example, or another country where you might not be able to access Bybit, you can access Bitfinex. I'll leave a link to Bitfinex down below this video, and if you use that link to make a Bitfinex account, you can get up to a 5.5k deposit bonus, and you can also get an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the Bitfinex exchange forever, but that's only if you use the link down below this video to make your Bitfinex account. And so as another option out there other than Bybit, once again, there is Bitfinex, links down below if you want to claim those extra bonuses. But with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and we're now starting to see more liquidity starting to build to the upside, starting at approximately 60.7k and going up towards around 61.2k. And so right now, this is starting to hit in the billions of dollars. This has just reached over $1 billion of liquidity in this price range right here, which basically means there could be around $1 billion of short positions that could be liquidated if the price actually crosses above this price range right here. And so there is a decent chance that perhaps in the new week, once the weekend's over, we could potentially see another little short squeeze right here, like what we saw just a couple of days ago right here, where the price basically shot to the upside and liquidated this area of liquidity right here in between around 58.7k to 59k approximately. And so once again, after we potentially see a little bit more of a short-term cool-off for the remainder of the weekend, possibly moving into Monday, then once again on Monday or Tuesday as the new week starts, we're likely going to see the volatility start picking up again, and that could potentially cause a little bit more of a short squeeze, considering most of the liquidity just in the short term is building to the upside, not really to the downside. But it is still worth pointing out that at least for now, we still have this major area of resistance, and this area of liquidity is basically coinciding with this exact area of resistance right here. So it's possible we could see a slight move up to take out that liquidity and still struggle around this area. That is also something that we still need to consider. But either way, whatever happens next week, at least over the next one day, I do expect the price to basically be relatively boring just over the next one day or so, as the price is now cooling off here in the short term. And with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, right now we're still bouncing from this major area of support in between around 2150 to 2.2k, and technically speaking, we have not yet reversed out of the larger bearish trend, considering at least for now we've not broken the lower high, lower low price structure as of right now. And as for major resistance to watch out for on this chart right here, we do have some significant resistance close towards around 2450 to 2.5k, and above that we have this massive area of resistance right here, or level of resistance, sitting at around 2.8k. And with that being said, if we're looking at the daily time frame, we're still technically playing out this bullish divergence right here, as I've been saying over the last 1 week or so, and so we're still most likely going to see either a slight bullish relief or at least a bit of choppy sideways price action here in the short term over the next 1 week or so as the most likely scenario based on this bullish divergence. And this is also coinciding with the fact that we're still bouncing from those oversold territories here on the 12-hour time frame, as I've said basically every day over the last 1 week. Once again, this is most likely going to result in a bit of a bullish relief here in the shorter term, but this is not necessarily a trend reversal signal out of the larger bearish trend. And as the price of ETH continues a short-term bullish relief during this larger bearish trend, if we're zooming further into the short term, looking at the 3-hour time frame, we can see that just recently, around a day ago, the price did actually enter into overbought territories, as shown here in the RSI on the 3-hour time frame. And the last time we saw this happen was back here just a few weeks ago in around mid to late August. And obviously back then we did end up seeing more bearish momentum later on, definitely less bullish momentum following that overbought signal. But it's important to mention that this signal does not necessarily mean that we're going to see a lot of bearish momentum like what we saw here. It just means that we're not going to see as much bullish momentum, at least for the next 1 or 2 days. So potentially for the remainder of the weekend, once again, considering it's already been around 1 day since this signal confirmed right here. And if we're looking at this example of an oversold signal, basically the opposite of an overbought signal, obviously that resulted in a slight bullish relief, so less bearish momentum, but was not necessarily a trend reversal signal. And so what I expect over the next one day is basically the same thing as what I said for Bitcoin, essentially just a bit of a short-term cool-off, relatively boring price action, mostly some sideways price action, maybe a very slight pullback. That's what I'm expecting here over the next one day as the most likely scenario, but once again, it is still possible that we can see that during this short-term bullish trend. And with that being said, taking a look at the price of Solana on the daily time frame, and right now the price is perfectly struggling around this exact area of resistance as expected, and this area of resistance is sitting in between around 138 to 143. But at the same time as the price running into this area of resistance, technically speaking, we still have an active bullish divergence. And so basically what we're seeing right now is the bullish divergence playing out in a slight bullish relief here in the shorter term, or a shorter term bullish trend basically. But now that the price is running into this resistance, this is essentially a major obstacle that the price is running into, where we are now running into some sell pressure just in the short term. And so it is quite likely that in the short term, over the next couple of days, the price will likely struggle around this area of resistance for a little longer, perhaps in the form of a slight pullback or some choppy sideways price action as the price is trying to run into this area of resistance but experiencing some sell pressure. But if we can eventually see a confirmed breakout later on above 143, with this bullish divergence continuing to play out to the upside, then in that case, if we can break out above 143 and ideally flip that into new support, then the next major area of resistance to the upside is sitting at around 159 to 163. So if we break out above 143, that would be a very bullish signal to pay attention to. But for now, the price of Solana is basically still within a sideways price range in between that area of resistance that I just mentioned and this area of support sitting in between 120 to 128. And as always, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.